Aliens cried out across the galaxy, and humanity appeared. It listened to deep space, to empty noise, to echoes no one else cared about anymore. Alex Carter had been assigned there as a punishment, or so it felt. He was a calm man with tired eyes and a steady voice. He had once commanded fast patrol ships near Earth. Now he sat in a dark room with blinking lights and ancient screens. He never complained. Someone had to listen. Lily Brown worked beside him. She was a linguist, not a soldier. She loved patterns, sounds, and meaning. She believed every signal told a story, even broken ones. Most days were silent. Some days brought old probes or dead beacons drifting through space. Nothing important. Noah Parker handled the data. He was young, quiet, and careful. He trusted numbers more than feelings. He logged everything, even static. He believed order mattered even when nothing happened. On one long shift, something changed. A weak signal slipped through the noise. It was not clean. It was not strong. It was desperate. Alex leaned forward in his chair. "Run it again," he said softly. Noah replayed the signal. The sound cracked and shook. It carried pain, not just sound, but emotion. Lily's hands froze over her console. "This is not random," she said. "This is a message." The signal repeated in loops. Parts were missing, parts overlapped. But one thing was clear. It was a cry for help. Lily began working fast. She mapped the tones, the rhythm, the pauses. This was not one voice. It was many, different species, different languages, all layered together. They were begging. The words were simple once broken down. "Help us, they are coming, we are dying, anyone please." Alex felt his chest tight. "How far?" he asked. Noah checked the data. His face went pale. "Far beyond Council space," he said. "No major power patrols there." Alex knew what that meant. No protection, no response. Lily swallowed. "These calls are old," she said. "Some are weeks late, maybe months." Alex closed his eyes for a moment. Space law was clear. Earth did not intervene beyond certain borders without approval. The councils had rules, rules written by those who were safe. "Log it," Noah said quietly. "Send it up the chain." Alex nodded. Protocol mattered, but something else mattered too. Hours passed. More signals came in. Not just one system, many, whole regions crying out at once. Lily translated until her voice broke. "They talk about raiders," she said. "Machine fleets, forced labor, worlds burned for resources." Alex stood up. "Enough," he said. Noah looked at him. "Sir, we are not just logging this," Alex said. "We are sending a priority alert." "That will get attention," Noah warned. "Good," Alex replied. The alert reached Earth Command within hours. At first it was delayed. Committees reviewed it. Advisors debated risk. Politicians asked what Earth would gain. Alex waited. Finally, a secure channel opened. An admiral appeared on the screen. Her face was sharp and tired. "Captain Carter," she said, "you are aware these regions are not under our protection." Alex met her eyes. "Yes," he said, "but someone is asking for help." "Others have asked before," the admiral replied. "The councils did nothing." "Then maybe that is the problem," Alex said. Silence followed. Lily held her breath. Noah stared at the floor. The admiral leaned back. "Do you know what answering this means?" she asked. "We could lose ships, people standing." Alex did not hesitate. "We will lose more if we pretend we did not hear them." The admiral studied him. "You are asking Earth to act alone." Alex nodded. "We have done that before," he said, "when it mattered." Another pause, then the admiral sighed. "Send me everything," she said. "Every signal. Every translation." Days passed. The station became the center of attention. Analysts flooded in. Engineers upgraded systems. The room was no longer quiet. More cries arrived. Some ended suddenly. Those were the worst. Lily learned the names of dying worlds. She spoke them softly like prayers. Noah tracked the patterns of attack. It was organized, efficient, cruel. Alex watched it all. He did not sleep much. Finally, the decision came. Earth would respond, not with speeches, not with demands, but with ships. Alex was called back to command. Lily was assigned to first contact teams. Noah joined fleet intelligence. The fleet was small compared to the great empires, but it was fast, it was prepared, and it carried something rare. It carried intent. As the ships left Earth space, messages followed them. Warnings, questions, threats. Council representatives asked Earth to stand down. Earth did not answer. The first jump took them into darkness. Stars unknown, charts incomplete. Fear hung in every corridor. On the bridge, Alex stood straight. His crew waited. "We go in quiet," he said. "No weapons hot unless needed." "What if they attack?" a pilot asked. "Then we protect," Alex replied. "That is all." They emerged near a broken station drifting in pieces, debris-filled space. Escape pods floated empty. Lily's voice shook. "We are too late here," she said. Alex closed his eyes again. "Mark it," he said. "We will remember." Then another signal flared nearby, faint, alive. They jumped again. This time they found survivors. Small ships huddled near a dying sun, shields failing, engines barely working. Alien faces stared back through cracked screens. They expected weapons, orders, demands. Instead, they heard a calm human voice. "This is Captain Alex Carter of Earth," he said. "We heard you. We are here to help." On the other side of the screen, an alien elder began to cry. Word spread fast. Humans had come not to rule, not to conquer, but because they listened. Far across the galaxy, other cries still echoed. More danger waited, more loss was coming. But for the first time in a long while, the darkness had an answer. And humanity was moving toward it. The human fleet moved slowly through the wrecked systems. Each jump brought new signals, new cries, and new worlds that no one else cared about. Every survivor they found told a story of fear, loss, and endless nights hiding from raiders or machines. The humans had no grand army here, only resolve, skill, and supplies to help those in need. Alex Carter's ship led the way. His crew worked around the clock, repairing smaller ships, tending to wounded, and keeping everyone calm. Ethan Cole, a soldier assigned to security, patrolled corridors filled with strange aliens. His rifle stayed ready, but he often found himself comforting frightened children more than fighting enemies. Maria Lopez, another soldier, helped guide refugee ships into safe zones, holding hands of alien parents and translating in simple gestures. Lily Brown's role became vital. She worked tirelessly, trying to understand alien languages and cultures. Each species had its own patterns, its own fears, its own sense of time. She learned to calm panicked leaders with a few carefully chosen words, even if she did not fully understand their culture yet. Noah Parker analyzed attacks on refugee convoys, mapping patterns, and predicting where raiders might strike next. The first real challenge came at the system called Varus 7. A human cruiser spotted a pirate fleet waiting near a gas giant. The pirates were well armed, expecting easy prey. Refugee ships fled in panic. Alex considered bypassing them, but he could not. "We save them or we do nothing," he said to the bridge crew. Ethan and Maria coordinated boarding parties to protect the refugees. Human ships moved in a careful formation, shields up, ready to defend but avoiding unnecessary fire. Alien ships, small and weak, clustered behind the humans, looking terrified and hopeful at the same time. The pirates attacked, but humans moved with purpose. Their strategy was simple: defend life, not destroy needlessly. Human fighters covered escape routes while cruisers held back the main pirate ships. Explosions shook space, but the humans did not panic. They had trained for emergencies, and their discipline saved many alien lives. Once the threat passed, human medics and engineers boarded the damaged refugee ships. Ethan found a small alien child trapped under a fallen beam. He lifted it gently, feeling its tiny heartbeat against his gloved hand. Maria helped a family repair their engine using parts salvaged from derelict ships. The aliens looked at humans with amazement, seeing not just strength, but care. Lily spoke to one alien leader, a tall, thin creature with long limbs. "You are safe now," she said. "We will help you rebuild." The alien blinked slowly. Tears formed in its eyes. "No one ever stayed," it whispered in its own language. "We thought we were alone." As the fleet moved deeper into alien space, humans repaired broken stations and gave out food and water. Engineers like Ryan Hill and Sarah Moore worked alongside alien technicians, showing them new ways to stabilize failing reactors and shields. Humans often worked through the night. Fatigue was ignored because lives depended on them. In one mining colony, the humans discovered children left alone in the ruins. They had survived by scavenging scraps of food. Ethan carried some to safety, comforting them with quiet words and gentle touches. The children clung to human soldiers as if they were family. Alex watched from the bridge, knowing that every life saved mattered more than any victory. The humans' approach was different from other powers in the galaxy. They did not demand tribute or control. They did not question loyalty. They simply acted. This caused confusion among alien leaders. Some were suspicious, wondering why humans risked so much for strangers. Others slowly began to trust. Hope began to grow where there had been none. Messages began spreading across alien space. Word of humans who came without asking for profit or power traveled faster than any fleet. Some councils tried to warn their citizens to stay away from humans, fearing they might bring trouble. But the survivors told the truth. Humans protected them, repaired their homes, and even shared knowledge freely. In a system called Dreen 4, humans set up a temporary safe zone. Refugee ships were anchored in a quiet orbit while engineers repaired their systems. Medics worked on aliens who had suffered injuries from raider attacks. Ethan and Maria organized patrols to prevent further attacks. Even small human gestures, like sharing stories or showing simple games to children, brought hope to those who had known only fear. While the humans helped, they also learned. Alex studied alien combat strategies to better defend future convoys. Lily collected new words, new customs, and new warnings about threats in nearby systems. Noah mapped dangerous sectors, noting where help was needed most urgently. The humans adapted quickly, combining what they knew with what they learned from the aliens. But not everything was peaceful. Raiders struck again, this time targeting a supply convoy. The humans were ready. They evacuated civilians first, then engaged raiders with careful precision. Explosions lit the void, and some human ships were damaged, but no life was lost. Ethan and Maria rescued survivors from burning ships, carrying them to safety. Alien leaders began to realize that humans would not abandon anyone, no matter the danger. After the attack, Alex held a meeting on the bridge. "We are making a difference," he said, "but this is only the beginning. More are in need." "More will call for help." Lily nodded, exhausted but determined. "We can teach them to survive," she said. "We can show them life is worth fighting for," Noah added. "And we learn too, every step we take changes what we know about the galaxy." As the fleet moved on, more cries came. Some were weak, barely reaching human sensors. Others were loud, desperate, and urgent. Every time, humans answered. Each rescue, each repair, each comforting word spread hope across regions that had known only despair. In one small system, an alien council gathered to watch humans in action. They whispered among themselves. "Why do they help?" one asked. "What do they want in return?" Another replied. "Nothing, they just care." Humans did not notice the attention. They focused on saving lives. Ships were sent to repair broken stations, bring water to dying colonies, and protect small planets from raider fleets. Each success was quiet. No parades, no demands, just action. As humans moved through the stars, aliens began to see a new kind of strength. Not one built on weapons or conquest, but on care, courage, and persistence. Humans could fight, yes, but more importantly, they could protect. They could inspire. And slowly, across systems scarred by war and fear, hope returned. By the time the fleet left the Dreen 4 system, the survivors were more than saved. They were beginning to rebuild. Alien engineers worked with humans to restore power grids. Alien children played safely under human watch. Alien leaders began to speak openly about trust. Alex watched from the bridge as a small alien ship waved in an awkward human gesture of farewell. He smiled faintly. This was what mattered, not conquest, not rules, not fear. Lives mattered. Everyone they could save was worth every risk. More systems waited ahead. More cries would reach them. Humans would answer again and again. And the galaxy would begin to see a species that acted differently, one that appeared not for power but for compassion. And humanity's presence, quiet and determined, started to change everything. The human fleet moved deeper into alien space. Every jump brought new signs of destruction. Whole systems had been torn apart by raiders or machines. Humans were careful, but they were not afraid. They carried something no one else had brought: help without question, protection without demand. Alex Carter stood on the bridge of his ship, looking at the star maps. Each blinking dot represented a world in pain. He had begun to know some of the names, the faces, the sounds of the beings he would never forget. Ethan Cole and Maria Lopez walked the corridors, checking on the teams. Soldiers were trained for war, but here their battles were different. They fought not for glory, but to keep others alive. Lily Brown worked with alien leaders to organize safe zones. Many species had no experience with humans. They did not understand why the humans stayed when danger came. They expected humans to leave at the first sign of attack. But humans never did. Noah Parker tracked raider movements. They were clever, attacking only when humans were spread thin. He made maps predicting the next attacks, calculating escape routes, and noting the weaknesses in raider tactics. Humans responded quickly. Every attack was met with careful defense and organized evacuation. No one left behind. The cost of compassion became clear at the system of Verda 9. A large raider fleet appeared suddenly. Humans had anticipated smaller raids, but this was different. Dozens of ships armed with energy cannons and missiles approached refugee convoys. Humans were outnumbered. Alex had to make a choice. "Evacuate the refugees first," he ordered. "Then engage." Ethan and Maria led boarding teams onto damaged ships to rescue aliens trapped inside. Explosions shook the corridors, but the humans stayed calm. They worked together, moving through fire and smoke to save lives. Some humans were injured. Some ships were damaged. But no civilian was left behind. Lily helped guide terrified alien pilots. "Keep steady," she said. "We are here." Aliens followed her instructions, trusting humans more than their own councils. Alien leaders saw bravery in humans that went beyond strength. They saw care, patience, and determination. After the battle, the humans gathered the survivors. The fleet had lost a few ships, and some humans were wounded, but the refugees were alive. Alex walked through the medical bay, watching human doctors and alien healers work side by side. The humans treated everyone equally, no matter the species or status. Noah analyzed the raider tactics. "They expected us to flee," he said. "They did not expect humans to stay." "That is what makes us dangerous," Alex replied. "We protect life, we do not run." Word spread across nearby systems. Aliens told their neighbors about the humans who fought to protect others instead of attacking. Councils that once ignored distress calls began to watch closely. Whispers of human courage moved faster than fleets. In the next system, the fleet found a mining colony under attack. The station's shields were failing, and raiders were boarding the platform. Ethan led a counter-team, moving quickly through corridors filled with smoke and debris. Aliens followed human guidance, learning how to defend themselves. Human teamwork inspired courage. Even the smallest aliens began to fight back with tools and weapons humans provided. Lily translated emergency signals and instructions for repairs. She used simple words, gestures, and drawings. Aliens understood her better than anyone else could have helped. She became a bridge between humans and alien survivors, showing patience, kindness, and clarity. Noah coordinated fleet movements. He plotted evacuation paths, supply drops, and defensive positions. Every decision saved lives. His careful work allowed humans to minimize losses while protecting as many aliens as possible. The cost was heavy. Several humans were injured in boarding operations. Some ships were lost in collisions or explosions. Alex held meetings on the bridge, quietly mourning the losses but never letting fear stop them. "We will not retreat," he said. "Every life saved is worth it." After the battle, humans repaired damaged ships and stations. They delivered food, medicine, and water. They taught alien engineers new ways to stabilize power grids and shield systems. Small alien children clung to human soldiers, seeing them as protectors and friends. Even alien adults began to trust the humans' intentions. At night, Alex looked at the stars. He remembered the first cries humans had answered. Each dot on the map represented beings now safe because humans chose to act. Each victory was quiet without fanfare but powerful in effect. Humanity's presence changed the galaxy in subtle ways. Lily worked late into the night with alien leaders. They planned new safe zones, trained volunteers, and shared knowledge. She recorded languages, customs, and warnings about nearby dangers. Each day brought progress. Each day brought hope. Noah studied enemy patterns. Raiders began to adapt, attacking in unexpected ways. Humans responded with new strategies, often improvising on the spot. Every encounter strengthened human tactics and morale. Aliens began to understand that humans were not just fighters. They were problem solvers, teachers, and protectors. Ethan and Maria prepared for another defense. Their teams practiced drills with alien volunteers, showing them how to move quickly, help the injured, and stay calm during attacks. Humans led by example, teaching courage without demanding obedience. In one small system, a young alien boy approached Ethan. "Why do you help us?" he asked. Ethan smiled gently. "Because no one should be left alone," he replied. The boy's eyes widened. "Even if we are not strong?" he asked. Ethan nodded. "Especially if you are not strong," the message spread. Humans did not conquer, they protected. They did not demand loyalty, they inspired it. Alien leaders began to rely on human judgment, not because they feared power, but because they trusted humans' choices. A council from a nearby system tried to warn aliens to resist humans. "They may take control," one voice said. But survivors laughed quietly. "They only protect," another replied. "They stay when danger comes, they teach us to survive." Alex understood the changing perception. Humans were no longer just strangers, they were a force that reshaped hope, courage, and trust. The galaxy began to notice that strength could be measured by care, not just firepower. After weeks of travel, humans reached a system where nearly every world had been touched by raiders. Humans immediately began to organize defenses, establish communication networks, and restore life support systems. They treated injured aliens, repaired engines, and cleared debris. Human engineers worked with alien engineers, creating systems stronger than before. Ethan led patrols while Maria coordinated supply lines. Their teamwork saved dozens of lives in a single day. Lily translated urgent warnings, helped teach survival skills, and comforted traumatized families. Noah studied all the patterns to anticipate raider movements. Every human contributed to saving as many lives as possible. Even as they worked, humans lost a few ships to hidden mines and sudden attacks. Every loss was mourned. Every human injury was treated carefully. Alex reminded his crews, "We act not because it is easy, but because it is right." As they moved on, humans began to gain the trust of local species. Aliens began training alongside humans, learning their ways and preparing for future threats. Humans did not force leadership. They offered guidance. Slowly, the galaxy began to see that humans were different. When another raid was detected in a neighboring system, humans prepared quickly. They evacuated refugees first, then met the attackers with precision. Explosions lit the void, and human coordination saved lives once more. Aliens watched and learned, inspired by courage, skill, and calm in the face of danger. By the end of this phase of operations, the humans had saved thousands of lives. Entire worlds had been stabilized, refugees had hope, and alien children began to trust that someone would protect them. Humans had shown that compassion and strength could exist together. As Alex looked at the stars, he realized the true change humans brought. The galaxy had seen power and conquest before, but never patience, care, and courage combined. Humans had risked their lives not for fame, not for control, but because it was the right thing to do. And as more cries for help traveled through the void, humans prepared to answer again, showing that life mattered more than victory, and hope could survive even in the darkest corners of the galaxy. The human fleet moved steadily through the galaxy. Each system they reached showed signs of the damage that had been left behind by raiders, warlords, and machine armies. Humans did not rush past. They stopped, repaired, and helped. The work was slow, but every effort brought hope to worlds that had nearly given up. Alex Carter walked on the bridge of his ship, reviewing maps with Noah Parker. "We need to plan carefully," Alex said. "We cannot leave anyone behind. We cannot waste resources. Every life matters." Noah nodded, highlighting systems where attacks were most likely. "The raiders are learning," he said. "We have to adapt faster." Lily Brown spent hours with alien leaders. She taught them how to communicate with neighboring systems, how to coordinate defenses, and how to warn each other about danger. Some leaders were hesitant at first, afraid humans might have hidden motives. But after seeing humans stay during attacks, after seeing them care for children and rebuild broken stations, trust began to grow. Maria Lopez and Ethan Cole trained alien militias. Humans showed them how to organize patrols, defend settlements, and evacuate civilians. The aliens were amazed at human patience. Even when tired, humans stayed calm, helping injured aliens first, then repairing equipment, and finally planning their next move. Word of humans spread quickly. Systems that had been silent for years began to speak again. Alien councils that had once ignored cries for help started sending observers. They watched as humans worked tirelessly to repair stations, feed refugees, and organize defenses. Humans did not demand anything in return. They did not ask for allegiance or resources. They only acted because it was right. In one star system, humans repaired a series of outposts along an asteroid belt. Alien engineers worked alongside them, learning how to rebuild faster and stronger. Children played safely under human supervision while adults rebuilt habitats. Ethan and Maria conducted patrols, making sure no hidden raiders could strike. Alex coordinated resources to ensure every settlement had water, food, and medicine. As the humans helped, they noticed something important. Alien fleets were starting to cooperate. Councils that had once been divided and distrustful began to share information. Small convoys moved together under human guidance. Humans did not force them. They only showed that cooperation saved lives. Slowly, alliances formed without the need for wars or threats. In a system called Aurea 6, humans faced a difficult choice. A colony was under sudden attack, and the only escape route passed through a dangerous asteroid field. Human ships had to move carefully to avoid damage while evacuating civilians. Alex decided to stay behind to protect the aliens, sending faster ships ahead to lead refugees to safety. Ethan and Maria stayed with him, knowing the risk. The battle was intense. Raiders fired from hidden positions, trying to split the human fleet. Explosions rocked ships, debris floated in every direction. Humans remained calm. They defended refugees, repaired damaged ships in real time, and rescued aliens trapped on broken stations. Despite injuries and damage, no civilian was lost. After the battle, alien leaders approached the humans. One elder, tall and thin with eyes like dark crystals, spoke carefully. "We expected humans to run," the elder said. "We expected them to leave when danger came. You did not." Alex replied simply, "We protect life." "That is all," the elder nodded slowly. "Your people are different, not like others we have met." Word of human bravery and care spread from system to system. Councils that had once refused to help began to reconsider. Alien fleets moved with caution, learning from humans, inspired by them. In another system, humans helped stabilize a planet that had lost nearly all life support systems. Engineers like Ryan Hill and Sarah Moore worked with alien technicians to restore power grids, shield generators, and water supplies. Medical teams treated hundreds of injured aliens. Ethan led patrols while Maria coordinated logistics. Every human played a role, and each action strengthened trust between species. Lily continued to bridge the gap between humans and aliens. She translated languages, taught communication strategies, and helped alien leaders plan safe zones. Aliens learned not just to survive, but to organize and defend themselves. Humans did not dominate. They guided, protected, and shared knowledge. As humans moved through these systems, raider forces began to change tactics. They expected fear, chaos, and retreat. They did not expect humans to hold their ground while saving others. In several engagements, humans outmaneuvered raiders, not by brute force, but through careful planning and teamwork. Alien pilots watched, amazed, and began adopting human strategies. Even as the humans faced challenges, they never wavered. Ships were damaged, supplies were lost, and human crews were injured, but their focus remained on helping others. Alex reminded his teams, "We act for them, not for ourselves." Every life matters. His calm determination inspired everyone. Even alien leaders began to rely on human decisions, seeking advice instead of issuing orders. In one quiet moment, Alex stood on the observation deck of his ship. Below, a small alien settlement was rebuilding. Children ran through streets once broken and dangerous. Adults worked together to restore homes and power. Humans supervised but did not control. Humans had given hope, and hope was taking root. Word reached the larger galactic councils. Reports described humans who fought to protect others, who rebuilt, who stayed when others left. Some leaders were skeptical. They feared humans might be manipulating events, but more and more it became clear. Humans acted without selfish motives. Their strength came from care, courage, and determination. As humans moved into a neighboring system, they encountered another refugee fleet under threat. Humans quickly organized evacuation. Ethan and Maria led boarding teams, rescuing aliens from damaged ships. Lily translated urgent instructions. Noah monitored raider movements, predicting attacks and guiding human and alien ships safely through space. Human coordination saved lives again. Alien children began to trust humans completely. They followed soldiers, engineers, and medics, learning from them and feeling safe. Alien adults began to see humans not as strangers, but as allies. Slowly, the galaxy began to change. Humans showed that strength could come from care, courage, and intelligence, not just weapons and armies. In a remote system, humans set up a communications network linking multiple worlds. Aliens learned to send warnings to each other, coordinate defenses, and organize convoys. Humans did not take control, they taught, guided, and shared knowledge. Alien leaders marveled at the human ability to bring order without demanding obedience. Even as humans helped, they faced resistance. Some raider leaders tried to scare humans, launching surprise attacks. Humans responded carefully, protecting refugees first, then engaging attackers with skill and precision. Alien fleets began to follow human strategies, defending themselves while learning human techniques. Alex held a meeting with senior human officers. "Our work is changing the galaxy," he said. "We are not rulers. We are teachers, protectors, and guides. Every world we save, every life we touch spreads hope farther than any fleet could alone." Lily added, "We are teaching them to survive and to trust." "That is more powerful than weapons," Noah agreed. "We also learn. Every system, every interaction teaches us new ways to protect more lives in the future." Ethan and Maria planned future patrols. Their teams included alien volunteers ready to defend alongside humans. Together they trained, learned, and protected. Humans were no longer alone in these systems. They inspired others to act, to cooperate, and to care. As the human fleet moved forward, they saw the true impact of their actions. Entire regions began to communicate, defend, and rebuild. Alien fleets that once ignored cries for help now moved to assist neighboring worlds. Humans had started a quiet revolution. Strength through compassion, courage through protection, leadership through example. And in every system, as humans repaired stations, delivered supplies, and rescued the injured, alien leaders repeated the same thought. Humans were different. They did not take power, they shared it. They did not seek profit, they sought life. And slowly, the galaxy began to understand that humanity's presence could change everything. Humans continued, undeterred by fatigue, loss, or danger. They answered every call, guided every refugee, and inspired every species they touched. Across the stars, the galaxy watched and learned. Humans did not conquer, they protected. They did not demand, they taught. And in doing so, they became a quiet, unstoppable force, reshaping the galaxy one life at a time. Even the most powerful councils could not ignore what humans had done. They saw worlds saved, alliances formed, and hope restored. They realized that humans were not just a minor species. They were a standard for courage, compassion, and action. The galaxy was changing, and humans were at the center, not as rulers, but as the example of what it truly meant to be strong. As Alex looked at the stars, he thought of all the cries humans had answered. Thousands of lives had been touched, and thousands more waited. Yet he felt no fear. Humanity would continue, moving toward every call, every system in need, showing that courage and compassion were as powerful as any weapon in the galaxy. And as more messages traveled across space, the galaxy began to understand a truth it had never known. Humans did not conquer, humans protected, humans inspired. And that would change everything. The human fleet continued its journey through the galaxy, moving from one system to another. Every world they visited told a story of loss, fear, and survival. Humans did not rush past. They stayed, helped, and repaired. Every effort they made brought hope to species that had almost given up. Alex Carter stood on the bridge of the flagship, looking at the star maps. Each dot represented a world that had been saved, a people who could live another day because humans chose to act. "We are not just saving ships," he said to Noah Parker. "We are saving lives, families, entire cultures. Every life matters." Lily Brown worked tirelessly with alien leaders, teaching them how to communicate, organize defenses, and protect their populations. Some leaders were still cautious, but after seeing humans risk their lives to protect others, trust began to grow. Alien children laughed in human company for the first time in years. Adults learned to rely on humans, not because of fear, but because humans had proven they would not abandon anyone. Maria Lopez and Ethan Cole led training programs for alien volunteers. Humans showed them how to organize patrols, defend settlements, and respond to emergencies. The aliens were amazed at human patience. Even when exhausted, humans remained calm, treating injured aliens first, then repairing equipment, and finally planning the next step. Word of humans spread quickly across the galaxy. Alien species who had once been isolated began sending messages to each other about the humans who came without asking for anything. Humans did not demand loyalty, tribute, or obedience. They acted because it was right. Slowly, the galaxy began to change. In a system called Orlan 3, humans set up a network of safe zones. Refugee ships were anchored in quiet orbits while engineers repaired power grids and shield systems. Medics treated hundreds of injured aliens. Ethan led patrols while Maria coordinated logistics. Every human played a role, and each action strengthened trust between species. The cost of compassion was high. Raiders struck unexpectedly, attempting to take advantage of the human presence. Human ships were damaged, and some crew members were injured. But humans never retreated. Alex reminded his teams, "We do not leave anyone behind. Every life is worth the risk." Alien leaders watched in amazement. Humans did not fight for power or glory. They fought to protect life. After a raid in the system of Varan 8, Alex and his crew helped evacuate a group of small alien colonies. Lily translated urgent instructions, guiding refugees to safety. Noah monitored raider movements, predicting attacks and directing human ships to intercept. Ethan and Maria personally rescued trapped civilians, carrying children and the injured to safety. Every action inspired aliens to cooperate. As humans continued their mission, alien fleets began to move differently. Species that had been divided and suspicious started coordinating their movements, sharing information and defending neighboring systems. Humans did not order them. They only showed by example that cooperation saved lives. Slowly, alliances formed, built on trust instead of fear. In the remote system of Draven 6, humans repaired a series of stations that had been destroyed by machine forces. Alien engineers worked alongside humans, learning to restore power, shields, and life support. Children played safely under human supervision, while adults rebuilt their communities. Alex watched quietly, knowing the effort would change generations. Lily continued to serve as a bridge between species. She translated languages, helped leaders plan defenses, and organized education for aliens learning human ways. Humans did not force leadership. They guided, shared knowledge, and protected. Slowly, alien societies learned to act independently, but always remembered the humans who showed them how. Even as humans faced dangers, they never wavered. Raiders and hostile forces tried to ambush the fleet. Human ships were damaged, some lost, yet every evacuation succeeded. No life was abandoned. Alien leaders began to see that human courage was not reckless. It was careful, strategic, and always focused on protection. Ethan and Maria trained alien militias to fight alongside humans. They practiced drills, prepared for emergencies, and learned to evacuate civilians efficiently. Alien volunteers began to develop confidence, inspired by human calm under pressure. Humans taught that courage was not just about weapons, it was about protecting life and acting responsibly. In one system, a young alien boy approached Ethan. "Why do you help us?" he asked. Ethan knelt down and smiled gently. "Because no one should be left alone," he said. The boy's eyes widened. "Even if we are weak?" he asked. Ethan nodded. "Especially if you are weak." The boy ran to his friends, repeating the lesson. Humans had shown that compassion was a form of strength. As humans moved from system to system, their influence spread quietly but powerfully. Species once terrified of raiders began to organize defenses. Fleets that had once ignored distress signals now responded to warnings. Humans had set a new standard: protect life first, act with courage, and teach others to do the same. In the star system of Niller 7, humans set up a communications grid linking multiple worlds. Aliens learned to share information, coordinate evacuations, and defend each other. Humans did not take control. They only guided and shared knowledge. Alien leaders were amazed at the human ability to organize without demanding obedience. Even as humans helped, they faced resistance. Raiders tried to attack unexpectedly. Humans responded by defending the refugees first, then engaging attackers carefully. Alien fleets watched and learned. They began to adopt human tactics, learning that defense and protection could be as effective as attack. Alex held a meeting with senior officers. "Our work is changing the galaxy," he said. "We are not rulers, we are protectors and guides. Every life we save spreads hope farther than any fleet could alone." Lily added, "We teach them to survive and to trust." "That is more powerful than weapons." Noah agreed. "And we learn too. Every system we visit teaches us new ways to protect more lives in the future." Ethan and Maria planned future patrols. Alien volunteers joined them, ready to defend and protect alongside humans. The fleets worked together, trained together, and inspired each other. Humans were no longer alone in these systems. Their example spread courage and hope across the galaxy. By the end of their mission, humans had saved thousands of lives. Entire regions had been stabilized. Alien children laughed safely for the first time in years. Adults trusted that someone would always come to help. Humans had shown that compassion, courage, and intelligence together could change the galaxy more than armies or weapons ever could. Galactic councils that had once ignored cries for help now watched closely. They saw worlds saved, refugees protected, and hope restored. Slowly, they began to recognize humanity not as a minor species, but as a standard of courage and care. Humans did not conquer. Humans inspired, humans protected. Alex stood on the observation deck of the flagship, looking at the stars. Each dot represented a world saved, a life preserved. He thought of all the cries humans had answered, all the refugees they had guided to safety, all the children who would grow up because humans stayed when danger came. He felt no fear, only determination. Humanity would continue to answer every call. As the fleet moved on, more cries echoed through the galaxy. Systems still in danger sent signals, hoping someone would come. Humans responded without hesitation. Ethan, Maria, Lily, Noah, and countless others continued to protect, teach, and inspire. Each rescue strengthened bonds between species and set a new example for the galaxy. Humanity's quiet legacy was becoming clear. They did not rule. They did not demand. They acted with courage, compassion, and determination. The galaxy began to answer distress calls because humans had shown it could be done. Life mattered. Hope mattered. And humans had proven that even a single species could change the future by choosing to care. In every system, aliens built memorials, schools, and stations to honor those humans who had risked their lives for others. They spoke of courage, patience, and care. Humans never sought praise, but their actions inspired generations. A galaxy that once ignored cries for help now responded. Alex watched one such memorial being built on a peaceful planet. Children laughed as they played nearby. Adults worked together to rebuild homes. Humans had done more than save lives. They had taught the galaxy to value life itself. And far across the stars, as new cries traveled through space, fleets moved to respond quickly. Councils acted together. Species helped each other. The lessons humans had shown spread farther than any fleet could travel. Humans had appeared when the galaxy needed them most. They answered cries that no one else had answered. They protected, guided, and inspired. And in doing so, they left a legacy that would be remembered for generations. The galaxy had been changed, quietly and profoundly, by humanity's courage and compassion. They had proven that strength was not just weapons or power. It was the willingness to protect others, even at great risk. And so, as humans moved to the next system, ready to help again, the galaxy remembered one simple truth. When aliens cried out across the galaxy, humanity appeared. And that appearance had changed everything forever.